Section 10 of Birds and All Nature, Volume 4, Number 3, September, 1898. Recorded for LibriVox by Jen Mitchell. The Red-Shouldered Hawk. You have heard of me before. I am the hawk, whose cry Mr. Blue Jay imitated, as you will remember in the story The New Tenants, published in Birds.
Kee-yaw, kee-yaw, kee-yaw.
That is my cry, very loud and plaintive. They say I am a very noisy bird. Perhaps that is the reason why Mr. Blue Jay imitates me more than he does other hawks. I am also called Chicken Hawk and Hen Hawk also, though I don't deserve either of those names. There are members of our family, and oh, what a lot of us there are, as numerous as the woodpeckers, who do drop down into the barnyards and right before the farmer's eyes carry off a chicken. Red squirrels, to my notion, are more appetizing than chickens. So are mice, frogs, centipedes, snakes, and worms. A bird once in a while I like for variety. And between you and me, if I am hungry, I pick up a chicken now and then that has strayed outside the barnyard, but only occasionally, remember, so that I don't deserve the name Chicken Hawk at all, do I? Wooded swamps, groves inhabited by squirrels, and patches of low timber are the places in which we make our homes. Sometimes we use an old crow's nest instead of building one. We retouch it a little, and put in a soft lining of feathers which my mate plucks from her breast. When we build a new nest, it is made of husks, moss, and strips of bark, lined as the building progresses with my mate's feathers. Young lady red-shouldered hawks lay 3 and sometimes 4 eggs, but the old lady birds lay only 2. Somehow Mr. Blue Jay never sees a hawk without giving the alarm, and on he rushes to attack us, backed up by other jays who never fail to go to his assistance. They often assemble in great numbers and actually succeed in driving us out of the neighborhood. Not that we are afraid of them. Oh, no. We know them to be great cowards, as well as the crows, who harass us also, and only have to turn on our foes to put them to rout. Sometimes we do turn, and seizing a blue jay, sail off with him to the nearest covert, or, in mid-air, strike a crow who persistently follows us. But as a general thing we simply ignore our little assailants, and just fly off to avoid them. The hawk family is an interesting one, and many of them are beautiful. The red-shouldered hawk is one of the finest specimens of these birds, as well as one of the most useful. Of late years, the farmer has come to know it as his friend rather than his enemy, as formerly. It inhabits the woodlands, where it feeds chiefly upon squirrels, rabbits, mice, moles, and lizards. It occasionally drops down on an unlucky duck or bobwhite, though it is not quick enough to catch the smaller birds. It is said to be destructive to domestic fowls raised in or near the timber, but does not appear to search for food far away from its natural haunts. As it is a very noisy bird, the birds which it might destroy are warned of its approach and thus protect themselves. During the early nesting season, its loud, harsh
Kee-yaw
is heard from the perch, and while in the air, often keeping up the cry for a long time without intermission. Colonel Gross says that he collected at Neosho Falls, Kansas, for several successive years, a set of the eggs of this species from a nest in the forks of a medium-sized oak. In about 9 days after each robbery, the birds would commence laying again, and he allowed them to hatch and rear their young. One winter during his absence the tree was cut down, But this did not discourage the birds, or cause them to forsake the place, for on approach of spring he found them building a nest not over 10 rods from the old one, but this time in a large sycamore beyond reach. This seemed to him to indicate that they become greatly attached to the ground selected for a home, which they vigilantly guard, not permitting a bird of prey to come within their limits. This species is one of the commonest in the United States, being especially abundant in the winter, from which it receives the name of winter falcon. The name of chicken hawk is often applied to it, though it does not deserve the name, its diet being of a more humble kind. The eggs are usually deposited in April or May in numbers of 3 or 4, sometimes only 2. The ground color is bluish, yellowish white or brownish, spotted, blotched, and dotted irregularly with many shades of reddish brown. Some of them are strikingly beautiful. According to Davy, to describe all the shades of reds and browns which comprise the variation would be an almost endless task, and a large series like this must be seen in order to appreciate how much the eggs of this species vary. The flight of the red-shouldered hawk is slow, but steady and strong, with a regular beat of the wings. They take delight in sailing in the air, where they float lightly and with scarcely a notable motion of the wings, often circling to a great height. During the insect season, while thus sailing, they often fill their craws with grasshoppers, that, during the after part of the day, also enjoy an air sail. End of Section 10. This recording is in the public domain.